Hello again, my friends. We are back. Happy Hump Day. The Great American Craft Beer Review with Kyle. Some rain in the tri-state, kind of dreary, and back to that. Nothing crazy. Today I have a special beer. It was given to me by Mark Linville, great buddy Mark. I actually have tried this beer at a bourbon festival last month, but there were so many tastings, and it wasn't even I was really that drunk. I did get a buzz, but nothing crazy. So many tastings that these bourbon beers kind of run together the same, and you only get in a 2 or 3 ounce pour, so you really didn't get an idea. This is from the Ballast Brewing Company, and everybody loves Ballast Point. It's the High West 2017 Barrel Aged Victory at Sea. Very, very nice. Look at this beer. It's an Imperial Porter with coffee and vanilla flavors, aged in High West bourbon and rye barrels. My God, it's killer. And from what I sampled, I thought it was tremendous. Again, a little sip. Look at the glassware. What Ballast Point, they do such a tremendous job. I mean, they were truly an elite brewery to the craft. And really looking forward to getting this again. Thanks to my good buddy Mark. Yeah, you know, it's funny for me because the original Victory at Sea was on tap about maybe the first part of January at Jungle Gyms, and it was unbelievable. The regular Victory at Sea, tremendous. The coffee, the flavor, and for a 10% porter, it was $4. You were paying $6 for a 7% Sculpin, and I think that's just the name of Sculpin. Sculpin's a great beer, and I love them, but to get a 10% better beer, I like that flavor better for $2 less. But anyway, yeah, so they made a lot of variants of this. Oddly enough, if you know me, I love coconut. I'm obsessed with coconut. And the coconut Victory at Sea, I poured it down the drain. And I love Ballast Point, but for some reason, that just tasted like tanning lotion and just, I don't know, did not do it for me. And I've never done that with a coconut beer. I love Ballast Point. And so then they came out with the peanut butter version, and that was to die for. That was just killer. The right amount of peanut butter, 10% smooth. That's about the only coconut beer, the only Ballast Point beer I probably won't ever like again in my life, and I don't know why. Maybe it was just that batch, or maybe it was just my taste buds that day. But this one, the High West. No, I have not actually had High West bourbon. It says bourbon and rye barrels. But anyway, we're going to really get into this. Should be an ass kicker. Beer checks in at 12% ABV. 12% even not for lightweights. 60 IBUs. I'm not going to know. That's fairly high for a bourbon barrel, so not awful, but 60's up there first time. 4.27 is the Untapped score, so they're getting some very, very good reviews on the Untapped app, and that's high. So here's your cap, the Ballast Point dedicated to the craft there. Now this was not a cheap beer, so I was really impressed with Mark. I get him a couple beers, but I still feel me getting him 2 beers for this one. I still think he ate it a bit because this was what, $16.99 for 4 of these, I think. $17 a 4-pack. But when you figure you're paying, like I said, $15 for a 6-pack of Sculpin, I don't think it's awful. So let's go ahead and get a pour. I do have some Ballast Point glassware, but for these big stouts, I want to use snifters. I know I didn't yesterday, but I want to try to use snifters, and that's how I'm doing. I got a Mad Tree Frenchly Ritz Mad Tree Brewing Company here. So let's go ahead and get a pour here, get the color, and get it going. You know, it looks fairly light. It is a porter, though. Yeah, I just said stouts. This is a porter. Look at that bottle. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, this is going to be tremendous. A little bit left over in the bottle there, but that's okay. Oh, my God. You're getting the bourbon before I even sniff this. I'm getting bourbon right now. I'm getting bourbon, rye, whiskey. Definitely. I almost get, like, peanut butter. What's the same as brewed with? Imperial Porter with coffee, vanilla. So definitely, I'm getting bourbon and coffee. Hints of vanilla, I guess. Bourbon up front. Bourbon. Definitely some coffee. Nice head on that beer, too. I wasn't overly aggressive with that pour. There's a little bit of carbonation on that. You see the glassware. But I'm going to set this just for a second. It was out for about 10 minutes, but it's still fairly chilled. Had it in the bottle for a long time. And we look for a production code on the back of this bottle. On the bottom of the bottle, it does have one. You can't see it. It's not readable. But that's okay. These beers are going to age for a year. And I know Mark picked this up less than a month ago, so we're good on that. Well, the artwork, I mean, it's just High West 2017. And very cool that it's aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah, and bourbon and rye. That's why I'm interested to try this, because I've tried, obviously, hundreds of bourbon barrel-aged beers. I've been getting them with the rye whiskey barrels. This has both. And I'm kind of interested to see how much of each, or how they mesh. I don't think I've had a beer that's had both, so how will we tell if the flavors are there or both, or if they're prevalent? So very excited to try. You love Ballast Point, love Victory at Sea. Maintaining a nice lacing on the head there. So let's thank the brewers at Ballast Point. They are an elite elite brewery in this country, and we're very fortunate to have them distributed here all the way out in San Diego. And very good rep to the Ohio sales rep. I think his name's Nick. Was at a pint, man. He's tremendous. So interacting with customers and got to have a beer with him and share. Got to drink the peanut butter beer with him and share. So if he's watching this or anybody's watching, he's a great man. And again, thanks to the Brewers at Ballast Point. Happy hump day, everybody, and cheers. Oh my God. Wow. Oh. Woo! That is so smooth. 12%. And I think the bourbon, it's crazy. It's victory at sea up front with the bourbon, with bourbon and rye whiskey finish. I gotta look up High West to see if they are, I guess High West makes bourbon and rye whiskey both. Oh my God, that is unbelievable. This is an A++. Look at the lacing. One little sip. What a tremendous beer. It's victory at sea up front. The coffee. Big time coffee but up front. That porter. Man. This is just... You know, as good as that Evil Twin beer was yesterday. And I'm not even saying that. I think that Evil Twin was unbelievable. I think this is a little better because it doesn't have all the adjuncts. I'm not saying that's not a great beer, and I like adjuncts. This is just coffee, vanilla, and bourbon. That was just, wasn't bourbon, it was just marshmallow, chili, almond, hazelnuts, every kind of nut, every kind of fruit. This is just, oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble with this beer. Glad I have one. I'm not glad I have one. I am, but I'm not. Bittersweet here. Look at the lacing. Oh my goodness, gosh. I tell you what, folks, if you, I don't know if this is still being released. It was 2017. I think they produced this. He got to me earlier in the month. I think it is. But, man, oh man. This is an elite brew. I highly recommend this beer. I highly recommend Victory at Sea if you like coffee and imperial porters. And then to get into this, 12%. My God, again, another big ABV drinking super light here. I tell you what, the bourbon and the rye whiskey are meshing together into a flavor that is just lovely. You get both. I think neither overpowers the other. End result is just vanilla, coffee, bourbon, like a rye. Oh, you just can't. I mean, they're just excellent. You just cannot. Look at the lacing. Side of the glass or the head's main thing. This is just, doesn't get a lot better than this. This is what you need after a hard day at work. Just a sip, like one of them, 12% ABV, but God, is this a great beer. I'm gonna really, Ballast Point, that's unbelievable. Like I said, I'll take regular Victory at Sea all day. I gotta review that too, by the way. I've done the peanut butter review. But I think this trumps them all because it just has the more flavor. It's not, people are gonna say, I'll probably have some comments on it saying, well, you're saying it trumps all because of the alcohol. Well, no, it's not. This has more flavor, the bourbon whiskey. Now, I'm not saying the Victory at Sea does not. It has tremendous flavor. But this is the best that I've drank of them, I have to say. And I'm usually an original, normal kind of guy. I've said this with with everything in life. Like, hold on, I'm going to rephrase it. I like original stuff. Comes my buddy at the door there. But yeah, this is just tremendous. So, A+ for me, folks. You cannot make them like this. A+ beer. Cheers to Ballast Point. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you later.